Ladies and gentlemen, this is a real disaster for the British pound. The British pound is going down against euro. Look at this chart, 1.15 to euro. What does it mean? That means everything. Why? Why is that? Well, the British pound interest rate on the British pound today is 4.25. However, the interest rate on euro is only 2.15, 2.15. That means the interest rate is 100% more than in the eurozone. What does it mean? That the high interest rate on the British pound should actually pump the value of the British pound, but it is not happening. This is not happening at all. Well, what would this mean? Well, that means the British pound is very weak. Very weak. The interest rate for the eurozone, where you have hundred of around 300 million people, is half, is 50% lower than the British interest rate. That means the Europeans in eurozone, like French, German, Spanish, Italians, Irish, and many others, pay only around 25,000 euros per 1 million per year of interest rate for their mortgages. On the other hand, the British people have to pay around 5%, 4.5%, 5.5%. That means they have to pay every year, each year, around £50,000, £45,000 for each 1 million pounds. That means if we just simplify this, and if we think that if we count that 1 million euro in United Kingdom has interest rate of 5%, that means the British people in the United Kingdom must pay 50,000 euros every year for their 1 mil mortgage. In the same situation, 1 million euros mortgage in the eurozone is only 25,000. It is so much that only people who understand the mortgages, who understand the financial economy, can say what is happening now in the eurozone and in the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom, very simply, is fucked. Is fucked. Ladies and gentlemen, apology for this rush word, but I can't say nothing more. The meaning of this very high interest rate and very high inflation in the United Kingdom is so difficult to understand that people even don't talk about it anymore. Really, the inflation in France is now less than 1%. The inflation in United Kingdom is almost 4%. Interest rate on mortgages in France, Spain is only around 2%, 2.5%, but in the United Kingdom around 4.5%, 5%. It is so much that in the long run, well, if this been happening maybe for 1 year, 2 years, but it's been happening for many years now, and it will carry on for next few years, at least 2, 3, 4, 5 years. That means the British people are getting poorer in very fast manner. Actually, we would need a poet here to describe the meaning what is happening now in the United Kingdom and in the eurozone. You may say, oh, this is only eurozone, now they are going to have a problem because the interest rate is too low. The ECB actually made a mistake by lowering interest rate to 2.15. They should put higher, and the United Kingdom is doing well, is doing good. They going the good path, and the Eurozone, the ECB will be lost because they in Great Britain they believe that Europe is shit because they listened to Nigel Farage that Europe is nothing, that is sinking, blah blah blah, and other things like this. They really did. A lot of people in Great Britain, they think they are superior of something like this. Oh, if they superior, why they don't have this low inflation? Why they don't have this low interest rate? And why they don't have the strong currency of why the British pound is not strong anymore? With the interest rate of 4.25, they supposed to be strong. The British pounds should be hard as rock, but it's not. It's soft as pillow. That's it. Look at this chart. This is GBP to euro. It is going down 1.15, 1.15, but they've got very high interest rate. If we let's dream a little bit. Let's say that the Bank of England is going to lower interest rate to the level of the European Eurozone. But I like to remind that in Sweden they have even lower interest rate than in Eurozone, because in Sweden they've got 2%. In Denmark they've got interest rate of 1.6%. But in Switzerland, they've got interest rate of zero. There is none, zero, null, nothing. They don't have interest rate. And if we just try find out what would happen if the Bank of England follow ECB, European Central Bank, based in Frankfurt. So they've got 2%, 2.1% higher interest rate than euro. So let's think what would happen if they lower interest rate every month by 0.25, which is 8 months and 2 weeks to do the job. But the Eurozone would not. The Eurozone would have to keep the interest rate on today's level, 2.15. So the ECB is not changing. Let's imagine that ECB is not changing the interest rate for next 8 months and 2 weeks, but the United Kingdom is lowering every month the interest rate of the British pound by 0.25, and the last cut will be 0.1. So those 2 weeks. So look at this chart what I am drawing. For each lowering the interest in the United Kingdom, we will adapt that the British pound will go down. Well, there is. I'm explaining now. You did the definition. Definition is that if you have lower interest rate, the currency is going down. Okay, so for each interest rate cut, we will put British pound little bit down, because it will have lower interest rate. That means the British pound will get weaker, softer. The high interest rate, adding the interest rate, supposed to, in a good conditions, actually make currency hard, but lowering the interest rate should make currency soft. Okay, so first month, so that from today's point, then the GBP would go a little bit like this: 1, 2nd, 3rd, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and those 2 weeks. That means if the British people want the same interest rate like in the Eurozone, like in France, Germany, Spain, Netherlands, Belgium, Croatia, Slovakia, Lithuania, whatever, Estonia, Latvia, then they would need to lower the value of the British pound to around 0.99 euro. So 1 pound will be less than 1 euro. Okay? This is the reality of the British economy at the moment. This is the this is the reality of the British economy at the moment, and there are reports that showing that the Nigel Farage is going to become prime minister, maybe prime minister in, I don't know, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, if the government in the United Kingdom collapse. But that doesn't mean nothing. That doesn't mean nothing. That will not push up the British pound and the businesses and the GDP growth. That will not happen. That will not happen. The polls showing that the Nigel Farage, actually the architect of the Brexit, will become the prime minister is only good for the Nigel Farage, but not for the country, because people are angry what is happening in the United Kingdom. The Brexit happened and didn't bring any value to the United Kingdom at the moment. So the British people actually will need to pay high interest rate, will have low currency, soft currency, and high inflation. They have to choose. This is inevitable. No Nigel Farage, no King, no I don't know who. There will be no brave heart that will save the British pound at the moment. And the inflation and the interest rate. That's it. Please subscribe my channel for more video like this. I hope to see you soon. I wish you good luck and the best decisions, financial, economic decisions in your life. I hope to see you soon. Bye.